Hey guys, I'm your host, Michael.
And I'm Aiden Mathis.
Hey y'all. I
Where did this
refrain
come
from
from?
saying y'all.
Is your true Texan showing, Michael?
Yes, even though I only lived there for 3 months of my life.
I love joking about that with you, I'm sorry.
No, it's funny because everyone's like, oh, you're a Texan. It's like, I literally have no memory of anything that happened there. But yes.
It's like if someone called me a Virginian.
Someone called you a Virginian?
It's as if someone
Oh,
called me
okay, because weren't you
'cause I
born in
lived
Virginia, but then
for
you immediately moved up here?
Yeah, no, I moved to Delaware, then
Oh,
up here.
yes.
As
Sort
of,
of.
oh my god, that was like so many years ago. I don't even remember which year it was.
But yeah, I'm like known as Texan. It's like, that's cool
Because you
and
look
all.
like a Texan and you were raised in a Texan family.
Yeah, but it's like, nah, dog.
You're not shared the beliefs of the stereotypical Texan.
I do not, fortunately. Well, okay. I wouldn't say stereotypical. I'd say like 30% of Texas is racist.
Wait a second, so you're saying it's not the actual stereotypical Texan?
No, it's not. Stereotypical Texan is really nice and will like help you find directions to
That's
the.
not my stereotypical Texan.
Well, you have never been to Texas, so your opinion doesn't count.
Well, that's because it's a stereotype, you idiot.
I know.
That's how stereotypes work. You never actually meet the people.
I know, that's funny.
Sorry.
I'm saying the stereotype in Texas is that everyone's nice, which is funny.
Oh yeah, I know of the stereotype that's from Texas.
Yeah, the stereotype in Texas is that everyone's really nice, which is funny because that creates a whole other subcategory of people, of Texans, that are not nice at all. But then there's the, never mind.
I get what you mean.
It keeps going. Because then people are like, I will not fit the stereotype.
I will be a mean Texan.
Well, because it's like, they're racist, and it's like, no one's racist here, we're all nice, Southern hospitality, and then it's like, I'm not Southern, or it's like, I don't have that Southern hospitality, so they're mean, and it's like...
I honestly love the idea of Southern hospitality.
It's great.
Yeah, but I've never experienced it.
Basically, it's the difference between when you get in the car to leave from a family member's house, like an aunt or an uncle, the family member will go out into the middle of the street and wave bye in Texas, and then in Pennsylvania, when you leave, they will stay inside their house.
And in Delaware, okay, that's a really funny comparison that you make, because my great grandparents, the ones that are kind of slowly losing their minds, the parents of the racist ones, they actually will stand on the porch. And Delaware is on I call it small Texas. Oh my god, that's amazing, actually.
Yep.
That they're kind of Texas, but also not. Oh man, that's actually an amazing analogy given my current situation.
Yeah, in Texas, when you drive up, the people will come outside to greet you, and you will greet them in the driveway. And in Pennsylvania, you will greet them inside the house.
That's kind of amazing. That's a very good analogy.
Yeah.
We should call this... We brought the name the last episode, by the way.
We
didn't have a name.
Figure it out. I think it was, we had one.
It was a bad name.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. I didn't like it. I'll just say we talk about things.
Vegetarians, and...
Vegetarians, vegans...
And bears, oh my.
No, who's a philosopher with the name V? Or the letter V?
God, there are no philosophers with the name V.
I'll look it up. This is going to be fun content. Other people have looked this up as well. Alphabetical philosophers.
I can't think of any at the very least.
Okay, here's one. Hans... No, I need first name. Oh,
Zeno.
Valentinius. Is that based off Valentine?
Maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Here, I'll click on him. Let's see if he's Valentine.
Wait, what about Zeno?
Because I know there's Saint Valentine.
Oh yeah, I don't think that. I think that's an idea of philosophy, not a philosopher.
Didn't do much, apparently.
I think we should do the bears oh my.
Vegans, vegetarians. What's the last V?
Sorry?
What's the last V?
I don't know.
It needs to be 3 V's. will find one that is famous. Oh, here, 50 famous philosophers. Oh, it's alliteration. I'm just gonna scroll on this.
Can we use Indian philosophers?
Well, I don't see why not.
Vallabha. I can't say his name.
That's kind of confusing. Let's see.
But he was, I think he was a religious philosopher. I haven't actually studied anything that he done, but I've heard of him.
People have looked up this thing before. How are there none? I don't understand.
I think he might be considered much more of a religious philosopher.
Yeah, we don't need religion.
We don't, but...
You know what I meant.
I do.
Philosophers... Oh, wait, here. I'll just look up famous philosopher and then type in V and see if it autocorrects. Oh, Voltaire, real name François-Marie Arouet, was a French philosopher and writer of the Age of Enlightenment. His intelligence...
Oh, is he the Francois guy who, really likes drinking?
His intelligence, wit, and style made him one of France's greatest writers and philosophers, despite the controversy he attracted.
For the record, I'm joking about the coffee thing, but the Enlightenment did make it so that people stopped drinking as much, so they just started drinking coffee instead.
Yeah, so this says, known by his nom de plume Voltaire, which is name... less formal name, I think is what that is. Don't quote me on that.
Dude, we have an entire video to do.
Nah, shut up, I'm researching.
What time is the podcast at?
Like 3 minutes? Nope, yeah. 7.
We spent the past 6 minutes looking at philosophers. Okay, we'll figure it out later.
Let me just write down the title so I can put it in there.
Fine.
And then I'll be ready. Okay. So.
Okay, we apologize for that brief question mark departure, but...
Vegetarians.
But, yeah. I really like the Enlightenment because they started drinking coffee instead of, beer. And beer is a depressant, alcohol is a depressant, while coffee is a stimulant, so it makes people happier. So, you could very well argue the point that coffee was a large part of the Enlightenment. I would argue for that.
It's funny, this guy is, known for his attacks on the Catholic Church.
You mean the Francois guy?
Yes.
There was if I'm not mistaken, there was a large part of the Enlightenment was questioning churches, religion. Mm-hmm. Although, again, I have not studied that era of philosophy in a long time. I've been very much focused on absurdism as of late. Absurdism and nihilism, although you could argue nihilism has long-standing roots, but I would not.
It's funny, because the people watching the 12th episode of the podcast are going to be like, what the heck is Voltaire? And it'll only make sense if they watch this one.
So
viewer retention.
So if someone asks us tomorrow, wait, who is Voltaire? And then we'll...
You gotta watch the next episode to find out.
Wait, okay. I don't know. I was
it's
gonna
funny.
say something about King 3.
Back to the thing, David in podcast. He was complaining that he couldn't find our podcast. Cause you guys haven't posted for 3 days. Are you guys dead? And blame it on Aiden.
Yeah. Actually, that wouldn't be a bad name for this episode. Blame it on Aiden.
I guess we'll see. Or Michael does research.
Say the exact time you say I'm going to look this up, and then I tell you to stop.
Michael
say the exact time. Michael researches from so and so to so and so.
Michael does research from. I will figure that out later when I redo this in iMovie. That's actually a really good idea, though. That's funny.
Yeah.
Alright, we have 10 minutes to talk about stuff.
Oh, Jesus. Well, let's talk about productivity.
Okay.
How do we do it? I've come up with a solution.
You're asking me.
I've come up with an idea of how to solve any problem. And if you don't have an easy solution the first time, look about how you would make the problem worse. Let me explain. Imagine you want to be happy. figure out
Okay.
how to be as unhappy as possible, and then do the exact opposite. Makes sense?
So how would you make yourself very unhappy?
For example, doing everything in one place. Like, for example, if you do absolutely everything you do, like if you eat, you sleep, you play games, you read, if you do everything in your bed, your mind is generally unhappier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not moving, for example. If you're not, like, going outside, then, again, you'll be generally unhappier.
So then move is the answer to happiness.
Well, I mean, partially.
I can just imagine that as, like, on the Dr. Phil show. Like, moving can cure depression.
You could very well argue that point. Not cure it, but help. That sort of thing. So, for example, if there is a problem and you need to figure out a solution,
solve it. Check out the bass on my DJ revolves it.
Excuse me?
That's Ice Ice Baby lyrics.
Oh, yeah, you're the Ice Ice Baby.
In the song, he's like, "You got a problem, yo? I'll solve it. Check out the bass." And he said, "No, if you have a problem," and then I said, "Yo, I'll solve it."
That's good, but I'm sorry, I haven't seen Ice Ice Baby.
Nah, it's too late. It's alright.
It's too sad. What was I gonna say?
I don't remember.
I can't remember either.
If you have a problem, how can you solve it? Or do the
How
opposite.
you can solve problems using the exact opposite. So, for example, don't set, like, if you want to be as unhappy as possible, set very nebulous goals. So then you'll never actually reach them. So you'll be working in vain toward a goal that you'll never actually reach. So we can take from that what we should do is create very strict goals that we can reach and that have a finite ending that is plausible to do.
I guess.
So,
that's just kind of like the same thing as just figuring out what you... I mean, like the opposite. I guess it works. I don't know. It just seems kind of like a roundabout way. It's like, what makes you unhappy? Not knowing what I want to do. Figure it, then make strict goals. Or you could say, make a nebulous goal. Don't do that. Sometimes the problem isn't... Like, just because you know what the problem is doesn't mean you can necessarily solve it all the time.
I'm saying that this could help you solve some problems that you don't know how to solve. Not saying it's a foolproof solution, God now. But you can see where it could be useful.
I guess, yeah.
The moon's so weird. We just have this thing hovering above us at almost all times, or sometimes below us given the time of day, and we just, like, it's just kind of like a part of our culture. Like, we've had gods dedicated to the moon, like, literal deities, and it's like just a rock in space, but it's rather close and tidally locked to us, and we've never seen the other side of the moon. Which is really, I'm not sure if we've taken pictures of it using other things, but since it's tidally locked with Earth...
Worship the close rock. Also, Aiden, yes, we have seen the other side of the moon, because it rotates.
It doesn't rotate, no, it doesn't. It's tidally locked with Earth.
What does that mean?
It means that it's always facing one side of Earth.
Really?
Yeah, like, if you're going to the dark side of the moon, we haven't, it's dark, it's dark. Yeah, it's hard to explain.
You go to the dark side, it's dark.
Unless I'm really stupid, but I'm pretty sure it's tidally locked.
Here, I'll look it up. I gotta do more research.
Yeah, sea tidal forces. Yeah. I'm correct.
If the moon didn't rotate at all, we would see all of its sides. Also, it does rotate, but it rotates with us.
Okay.
That makes it, because I know it rotated, because, like, that's wrong. But it rotates with us, so that's why.
I was mistaken.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that tidally locked meant it did not rotate.
Yeah, we were both false. Because, like, if it didn't rotate, then wouldn't we just go around it?
No, I'm not saying it didn't revolve. I'm saying it didn't rotate in itself, like it didn't turn. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
But it does.
So then, yeah, okay.
And that's why we only see one side. It's
Okay,
the opposite of what you thought.
I was right about the tidally locking thing. I just didn't understand it fully.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Michael does more research.
Yeah, but the moon's just so weird because, like, I don't know if we have any pictures of the dark side of the moon, but if we did, I wouldn't imagine them to be very well. Given
more
we haven't been
research.
Given we haven't been there since, like, Apollo 19? That sounds about right. But
Oh, it's just kind of like it's like a picture of the moon. It seems fake. Is it really that easy to do? Well, yeah, because actually, no, that would be easy.
how so?
Because it's like if it's rotating around, it's like if the moon is between, like, this doesn't have to be during an eclipse, but just if like during any new moon where there is no moon, we could just, like, if there was a spacecraft on the other side of it, they could just take a picture from there, and it would be completely illuminated. There is no dark side of the moon because every side is the dark side depending on the time.
Yeah, but I'm saying what we can see from Earth.
What we can see from Earth, yeah, we've only ever seen one side. Pictures, yeah, there's a lot.
Do we have pictures of the other side? I mean, that makes sense because we have space that
yeah, it just rotates around and it takes a picture when the sun's shining at it.
I never really thought about how you take a picture of the dark side of the moon.
Well, it's not dark if you time it.
I mean, yeah, I get, you know what I mean. Like, how, like, you know, thinking about getting a spacecraft to the other side, I always assume that.
I mean, you just kind of slingshot it around. If the Martian taught me anything, space travel's easy.
You can just poke a hole in your suit, of course.
Just duct tape the glass. That totally won't rip off the duct tape and leave you suffocating.
I've actually read The Martian like 7 times.
It's a great book, but it's kind of
amazing.
stupid in some parts.
It is. I think the only part that the movie skipped was the sandstorm.
The sandstorm and him falling down the pit because they just didn't have time.
Yeah, because, you know.
And it wasn't that important. I mean, he got over it. Like, it didn't.
I actually never finished the movie.
Really?
I only got to, like, that point, and then I had to, like, I always kept on getting cut off.
I think it's worth seeing the ending because the bit where he pokes a hole in his suit is hilarious.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
He's like, I'm gonna poke a hole in my suit. And Leia's like, what? No. He's like, I'm gonna do it. He's like, dog, you got this. And he's like, I got this. And he just does it and flails around and gets pretty much nowhere. But it's funny. I mean, it's a very nicely done movie. I like it.
I really like the idea of isolation. And I might talk about, wait, how much time do you have left in this episode?
4 minutes.
Okay, because I won't have enough time to mention it. I probably won't have enough time to talk about this whole subject.
We'll just do it the next episode.
Sorry?
Well, we can talk about it in depth the next episode.
Okay, so just, we'll remember isolation.
Yep.
Okay. And I love studying people from a deep thought point of view, because there was a quote, like, you can never hate a man if you know him. Or you know his story is the more commonly said version.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's very, very true. I mean, it kind of goes along with the path, like the road to hell is paved with good intention, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can see where people made mistakes. Actually, the book Eragon Eldest, the second book in the series, is actually talking about that right now. And I was like, whoa,
really?
I did not catch how good they talked about this.
What's it about? Like, what's it talking about?
They're talking about the main villain, Lord Galbatrox, which is an amazing name, by the way. Like, That sounds like an EDM artist.
Very nice.
Galbatrox. And he did a lot of really bad things, but he wanted to make a stable country that did not rely on riders, which are people who ride dragons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wanted to rid the world. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't agree with the current systems. So then they were arguing what is his right, like what is Eragon's right to dethrone him and then throw millions of people into chaos.
Yeah.
Because
he actually did have a pretty decent reign. It wasn't a great one, but it was one.
Whose?
Galbatrox.
Yeah, I mean, because there is, like, for example, you actually see, like, the townsfolk of Caravel, the original city that Eragon's from, and Ronan actually lives in for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You actually see them talking about how there's, like, insane taxes on iron.
Mm-hmm.
But the only reason why that is because there's a war.
Yeah.
There's a war brewing. So without the rebels, they wouldn't have that absurd iron tax.
Yeah, so it's like the rebels are causing this for you.
Mm-hmm. And the only cases where we see people, like, just living, and then, the only cases where we see people being attacked by Galbatrox is because Ronan lives in, Caravel. They want Ronan to get information on Eragon. That's one of the only cases that we see him, doing invading a village.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there's a really cool, 20 or so chapters about, Ronan's, defending the village and, doing a bunch of stuff. It's actually really cool.
Yeah.
It breaks away from the main story.
I've read the book.
I really like it. Are we running short on time?
Huh?
Are we running short on time?
1 minute.
Okay, sorry. But I might talk about that more in the next episode because I forgot how much I love this book, the book series. I didn't understand it fully when I was younger, why I liked it so much, but I see it now. Like, I can appreciate how much effort went into it. Yeah, and also it's kind of reinvigorated my love for reading because I just didn't read for a while, 2 years almost. And now I've been reading. I read for 45 minutes today, out of choice. So,
that's
crazy.
Good.
Success stories.
Thank you for watching this equally boring episode of the 21 Days 21 Minute Podcast.
Whoa, okay.
I'm saying I researched for 7 minutes.
That's fair. I blame that on you.
Alright. At least if I don't fall asleep at 5:30 and wake up at 5:30.
Okay, for the...
Ooh! He went there!
Shoot!
Thanks for this episode. I've been your host, Michael. It's been your host, Aiden. Or co-host.
Have a delightful day.
We'll see you guys in the next one, I think.
Keep your head held high.